What's going on, guys? And welcome back to our first edition of the Morning Prowl, late night edition, Thursday night. We have a special guest with us tonight. I don't think we want to mess around too much with all the intros here.
Is it Matilda?
Bridget?
It is Matilda.
No, it is not Matilda.
Oh.
Let's roll this intro and let's get our guest in here.
All right, here we go, guys.
There's nowhere else that I would want to start my football Sunday than right here.
No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands. I'm by my lonely. Turn to a savage. Now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans. Don't need no friends.
I'm ready to go. I'm caffeinated. Now I'm ready to go. I'm ready to run through a brick wall.
I'm number one up on that court. I'm Nicky.
Can you guys hear me now?
There it is.
Hey, there we go.
Put in my mom by I need 6 rings like MJ. Tom Brady.
I like this. I like it.
I wake up, flex.
There we go.
No drip. Come on, tell them no sleep, no rest. Might crash, might
Who dat?
I wake up, flex. Down, no drip.
Thank you all for having me, by the way. I will come on anytime that you'll have me.
You definitely have some of the greatest fans, and it doesn't go unrecognized.
Morning, everyone. Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good conversation.
One false move, fight yourself, they getting buried. That's what the devil used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swear that I would change. I'm on the come up, I live up to my name.
Joe Burrow will definitely win at least one. And mark it down.
No drip is tell them run it on. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it on. I wake up, flex. Thumb down, not check. No drip is tell them run it on. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it on.
Welcome to our show.
Ooh, the updated intro already ready for the 2023 season. I see we got 16 people in here. Jerry, Cripps, Greg, Pam, Kelsey. Who else we got in here? Jess is in here. Eric, Lisa, Kayla. Thank you. Stranger, and Vass. Thank you all for joining us here for a very special edition of the Morning Prowl. Guys, you just want to jump right into it, get our special guest in here?
Bring them in.
What?
How we doing? I guess it's the evening prowl special edition tonight.
Morning Prowl prime time.
Ted, thank you so much for taking time out of your weeknight here to join us. I remember when Bridget texted me and Whitney about the potential of you coming on here. I think there was just a bolt of energy that kind of hit the group chat. So very excited to have you on here, man.
Well, I'm very glad to be here. Thank you guys for having me on. This has been a couple weeks in the works, so I'm glad it worked out. I'm ready for some prowling.
Now, I will say this is the second time, quote unquote, I've met you, Ted. Last year, this time for real though. Last year at Taste of Bengals, for anybody that hasn't been to that event, players come to the event, sign autographs. If you have VIP, you can meet the entire team. If not, there's like a main floor that some players come down. So I didn't have the VIP last year with me and my wife. We was walking around and it was my first year going to this event. So I'm just like starstruck. I'm seeing, we were shoulder to shoulder with Mixon. We saw Jesse Bates, or no, we didn't see Jesse Bates. We saw Sam Hubbard, Mike Hilton, various amounts of guys. And my wife points out one guy and she's like, "Who's that?" And I looked over and I was like, "Well, that's Ted Karras." And so we ran over and it's like, "Hey, Ted, can we get a picture with you?" And he said, "Absolutely." It was actually Alex Kappa. Unfortunately, called him Ted to his face. I still feel horrible.
He did bring that up to me. He said that happened to him that night. I remember that now. That's good though. That's great. I love that.
I feel so horrible about that because I pride myself on knowing as many players as I can. But
I think I'm emceeing the event this year.
Are you really?
Actually, I don't know. They approached me with some type of entertainment position at the Taste of Cincinnati. So I'll be there. The whole team has to go. It's right after practice. It's amazing.
Nice. I had a lot of fun
Tickets
last
are
year.
on sale already, it sounds
Yep.
like. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a
Hube's
blast
on it.
last year.
Yeah.
So hopefully I actually get a chance to meet you in person this year, and I will get your name right, or I'll call you Alex. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, Cordell.
All right.
And VIP tickets are already sold out because your girl just went to
Really?
go buy one, and there aren't any left. So
Well, get your
there's,
tickets, folks.
977 general admission tickets left.
Well, there we go. Let's sell out. Cincy loves to hang out, though. That's what I love about Cincinnati. Everyone's always coming out, hanging out, supporting, going to the games, but hanging out too. It's an incredible town. Really grateful to be here. Even though I'm not there now, I do miss it.
You can tell by the palm trees in the background there.
Yeah, we don't have those here.
No, we don't have palms. Not in Cincinnati. Willows.
We happen to have 3 tremendous champion level sports teams, though. So what a time to be a Cincy sports fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So everybody's like rocking their Cincy hat. So Bridget, like, show us first of all your colors.
You mean these? So, Ted, I don't know if you knew you were going to do this, but you started like the most amazing fashion craze in Cincinnati. You cannot go anywhere. My neighborhood, Columbia Tusculum, had a block party last week. I saw at least 3 Cincy hats walking around. But Ted, tell us a little bit about how the Cincy hat came to be and how this like pretty amazing fashion statement benefit an even better cause.
Well, it started really. I've had a lot of trouble in my career, like finding gear that's still specific to the team, but not like outright being like I'm a Bengals player by wearing the hat. Even though it's probably be pretty obvious anyway. But my neighbors down here in Florida have a golf supply business. They make custom hats. They make a lot of hats for country clubs. And we came up with this logo, and it was just going to be a gift to my teammates, just a little token of I'm coming to Cincy. Here's a cool hat. And the demand was unbelievable. People kept asking me where they can buy them. How can they get these hats? So I finally broke down, said we're going to sell them, but we're going to do it for charity. And the charity that it benefits is the Village of Marici on the east side of Indianapolis, and is the only facility in Indiana that provides independent living, independent lifestyle coaching for adults with Down syndrome, autism, anything on the developmental disability spectrum. So we've sold a ton of hats thanks to you guys and the Cincinnati fan base, again, coming out, showing support. I'm so grateful for that. But we're actually in the process of building 2 more buildings that we're going to increase our footprint, triple our footprint, 77 units between these 2 buildings. And, the wait list is about 1,600, and there's 16,000 in Indiana with these afflictions. So it's an underserved need, and it's pretty cool how the Cincy hat's taken off. I'm really, pretty stunned actually by the response by the Cincinnati community, and, hopefully keep an income for the village for a long time to come.
That's awesome. Well, we love you and Matt were downtown a couple weekends ago, stayed for 5 hours, signing hats, talking to all the fans. And I think that's what makes this so magical is it's not just a good hat, a great cause, but that you're so invested in the fans with it. So we love it. And we will keep buying all of the hats because I clearly need more.
Well, next event is July 21st, Friday, July 21st. Little Miami Brewing Company. We're doing bucket hats and visors.
Ooh,
wow.
So,
we're throwing it back to the 90s.
Yeah,
the early aughts.
Yeah, late summer bucket hats for camp. And obviously we'll have all the other hats there too, but it's just going to be me and Matt like we do. And, I'll take a picture, talk to everyone. We'll be there. I think it's going to start at 3 and we'll be there all night. So whoever wants to come out,
Nice.
be at Little Miami.
You're putting a hurting on my bank account here, Ted. I mean, I'm not a hat person, and when you came out with this hat, I was like, I love it. It's for a great cause. I want it. Cool, 1 hat will be good. And then you came out with the blue and orange for my FC Cincinnati, and I had to get that one too. It's a great looking hat. So obviously great work on him. Like you said, it's a great looking logo and it's for a great cause. So
thank you guys for supporting, man. It means the world. It's unbelievable how much good this is doing. So I really thank you guys so much.
Listen, before like we get into like our quiz game with you, which is gonna happen. Before we stop talking about Cincy Hat, I have an idea for you. I'm gonna give it to you for free.
Okay.
But since your quarterback, Joseph Lee Burrow, decided to break the internet this offseason with a headband, I feel like we need a Cincy headband limited edition moment.
I think we do too for Orlando Brown Jr. as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have some headbands going. I know Joe rocking the middle part looks great too.
Right? Right?
It does. It really does. Yeah, I told him that. So
I just appreciate the Bengals content team just leaning into thirst traps.
Oh.
Like, you know what? We are just going to, every few days, we're just going to make every husband hope their wife doesn't open Twitter. That's incredible.
Joey B. He's got the world by storm right now. Now we need to go finish one and really put him at the top.
Hell
Yeah. That's right. Well, I will be keeping my eye out for the Cincy headband. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Yeah. Trademark.
We'll call it the Whitney.
Okay. No one will buy it. All right. So we have like a list of questions for you. They're inspired by the games of this season.
Okay.
We're about to play as we get prepared for the 2023 season, which we're going to the Super Bowl, by the way. I don't know if you've heard.
Vegas.
Yes.
I know, Vegas, right? Jeez.
I know it. I'm ready now. So I think we'll all take turns asking you these questions. We'll start with question 1. If you're ready, are you ready?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. So week 1, we are playing the Browns.
Yes.
At the Browns in Cleveland. I'm wondering, in 30 seconds, how many former Browns QBs can you name?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Go.
We got Hoyer, McCown, Baker, Couch,
Yeah.
freaking, Manziel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Deshaun, I'm gonna throw in there.
Herbert's right.
Oh gosh, I want to say like Grabak. I don't know. I'm thinking that one picture on the jersey on the internet.
1 out.
All right, I thought it was pretty good. What was that? 6?
I got 6 there.
Is it 6?
Yeah.
I thought he had more than that. Okay, well, that's pretty good.
Ted named more former Browns quarterbacks than I could name Browns players on that roster right now.
Right?
Oh,
All right.
Bernie. Forgot Bernie. I would be disrespectful.
Yeah.
I want to just add him in late.
All right. So week 2, home opener. The Ravens are coming to town.
Yes.
The last couple seasons, the Ravens fan base has gotten really vocal. They talk a lot. They chirp a lot. If you were to give a TED Talk, what topic would it be on?
On the Ravens?
No, just in general. So these questions are like loosely related to whatever the game.
Man, if I was
You're
going to give a
inspired.
TED Talk, wow, that's what do I have the authority to give a TED Talk on? I guess. I don't know if authority even, Vegas get up there and start talking. I would like to maybe find some type of holistic nutritional advantage and then present it as a product, or I think a lot of guys that I see online and some younger guys that come into the league, try to, a lot of people talk about leadership and stuff. And I really don't think you should ever really talk about leadership. Leadership's all about just earning the trust of the men around you and building their trust in you. So I don't know. That could be a topic.
Okay.
I got a little deep there, I guess.
Sign them up. We'll create the slide deck.
Yeah.
That's what TED Talks are supposed to be. They're supposed to be deep.
That was a good question. Very thought-provoking.
All right, Tyler, you're up.
All right, so week 3, Monday Night Football against the LA Rams. This game will be played under the spotlights in LA, and your Uncle Alex was an NFL player turned actor, appearing in an iconic movies like Porky's and Blazing Saddles. Which of your teammates would most likely become an actor after retirement?
Trent Irwin's already been an actor.
Oh, come on.
You should look up some of Trent Irwin's old commercials. They're unbelievable.
I remember them.
Yes.
There's one I saw and I was like, I recall that.
I think it was like Fruit by the Foot or something with a roller coaster.
It's like the one where he gets blown. Yeah.
He came over late night after one of the games. I have, an open house after games, and we ended up watching his commercial set, which was pretty good. But on a more serious note, I think Joe will have a few cameos in his career. I think that's inevitable. But you know what? Honestly, Stanley Morgan, underrated. I think he could. Yeah, I think Stan would be good in a lot of different character roles. He has a very disarming charisma.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
Stanley Morgan is like my Bengals crush.
Wow, yeah, that's a good crush. That's very respectable.
I think he's just adorable.
He is. He's great.
That's a good answer. I didn't see coming.
We got a question here from Cap. It's kind of related to that question. But Cap says, "What role would Ted want to play, or what type of movie would you want to star in?"
I think just Vince Vaughn, like playing himself, just like having messing up his first love interest, but then killing it to end the movie. Everyone feeling good, leaving. You had rolling on with a good life now. But he the only thing I don't like about Vince Vaughn is he quits in all of his movies. He quits in Dodgeball. He quit in freaking The Internship. I don't want to be a quitter though, but I do like his story arcs. He messes up in the beginning and then redeems himself as a regular guy. So
he quit in Fred Claus. Vince Vaughn quits in his movies, but then always redeems himself though, which I like that about their stories.
How have I never noticed this before? This is it's like proverbial glass shattering.
Yeah, you just got all of a sudden disappointed in him and had no expectation that was going to happen today. The disappointment's real. Hey, so before I ask the next question, I forgot to play the intro for your segment, and I would normally just skip it, but it ties into the next question, so we're going to play it real quick, okay?
Let's do it.
Okay. So I know.
Golly.
I know I just did you dirty because I know.
Yeah, no, it's all over. No, it's the dirty's done. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You're so mad that went viral.
That's the only time I've ever been viral. Knock on wood.
I don't think collectively the city of Cincinnati has fell in love harder with a singular player and a singular moment in the history of Cincinnati sports. Yeah, I mean, you cemented your legend that day, so it is what it is. But my question is, obviously, we had that iconic moment during the Tennessee game. So, of the remaining teams in the NFL, which team or fan base is most likely to get the Tennessee treatment next?
After Tennessee, well, I just want to say this wasn't against the fan base. I was just punched in my face by Jeffrey Simmons, who was fined $11,000 by the NFL for that. By the way, justice was served.
Good.
And that was a little bit out of character. I lost my mind there for a moment.
I know, but we want it to happen again, and who's going to
I was organic. The guy actually just came up. He was like, I was the guy that filmed you. I'm like, well, damn, dude. All right. He was kind of really proud of it. I was like, wow. Thank goodness the reaction of the city was good because that could have gone south. But this had nothing to do with the fan base.
Got it.
Yeah, Tennessee, even though I'm going to need people to have my back down there in Nashville this year, I get a lot of hate messages from Tennessee, but and it'll be another grinder game. But I don't know. I mean, the AFC North is pretty contentious. You could pick all three of those fan bases, especially how you guys interact on Twitter with each other. It's unbelievable. I catch some of the crossfire now on my For You tab. Yeah. I mean, the AFC North Twitter dialogue is horrendous.
It's been an off season.
It's unbelievable. We're
going to circle back to that.
Okay. I would say you can pick any one of those three. I don't know what's going on. Now I see, because I follow a lot of you guys now on Twitter and stuff, so I get the replies. I mean, Pittsburgh has the one Kenny Pickens guy. He's all over the place.
He is.
He is.
I've never muted so many accounts.
I'm getting called a bum in Crossfire. It's like, what are we doing, man? I do search my name on Twitter, though. I will admit to that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I didn't know if there was going to be a right answer to that question, but that was the right answer. So good job. You get 10 points.
10 points. I think I'm nailing this quiz so far.
You're freaking nailing it, dude.
All right. So the first game you started in the NFL was against the Cardinals. Week 5, we are in Phoenix playing the Cardinals. What was your welcome to the NFL moment in that game?
It was probably before the game. I had made the team. I don't even know how, the Saturday previous, which was, the biggest accomplishment of my life thus far. And then, I didn't really have a role on Friday. Before we fly down to Arizona, they tell me I'm starting in the game, right guard. Here we go. I think third play, I had a nice reach block on Frosty Rucker, kind of pancaked him. Flag. 10-yard holding penalty. I was like, no way, man. But then Jimmy G went right down and scored, though. We won the game. They were actually the Super Bowl favorites. I remember a lot from that game. My mom flew down. It was pretty cool. Got to say my name on Sunday Night Football. My initial intro was too long, too, so they told me I had to cut it down.
What did you say? Did you?
Well, I said Ted Karras, University of Illinois. They were like, no, it's not going to work. Just Ted Karras, Illinois, man. Fast as you can go. Ted Karras, Illinois. But the first time that I really realized I was in the NFL was the Gatorade fridge at Gillette Stadium. Was every single flavor of Gatorade you could ever hope for. I thought that was just the coolest thing I'd ever seen. It was like 4 lockers down. I could go get any exotic Gatorade that I pleased at any time. I thought that was one of the coolest perks I'd seen.
Nice.
I love it. That would be such a me answer. Brittany, what do you love most about being like, rich and famous and all that? It'd be like all the soft serve ice cream I can afford.
Yeah. They have it there for you. The Gatorade fridge really stuck out to me to this day.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we do love Frosty and Cincy.
I know. That was my first time. He was like year 13, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good shout out to our boy Frosty Rucker. All right. What's next?
All right. So week 6, we have the Seahawks.
What's week 6? Seahawks?
Yes, sir.
I need to get a win against the Seahawks. I don't know if my career record against the Seahawks is very good.
Don't put that into the universe.
No, I know. I'm saying we're getting a win.
We're getting it done this year.
We're getting a dub. I need a dub. And it's one of the only stadiums I haven't played in. We're playing here though, right? Yeah. I'm not putting anything in, Bridget.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just commenting.
If we lose, I am going to be at the gates when you drive away, smacking on
There are a lot of people at the gates when we drive away. It's pretty cool. Cincinnati's an amazing town.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the Seahawks. We're getting a dub, week 6.
Yep.
Week 6 dub. Chalk it down now.
Yes.
But Coach Carroll likes to smack his gum all game, and his jaw has to be sore by halftime. Which player that you face talks the most smack during the game, as his jaw also must be sore by halftime.
Who's the biggest smack talker?
There's a lot of smack talkers. Sue has always been a big one. You always got to watch yourself around him. Aaron Donald will talk. It depends. I don't talk that much. It's a waste of energy. I'm not expending that energy on my opponent. But not a lot of people talk to me too. I talk more in practice, honestly, just because it's a little lower stakes and I have better stuff to say to my teammates. But as far as in a game, I'd say AD and Domkin for me. Jarrell Casey, he was a talker.
All right.
He talked a lot. I remember just being like, this guy. Mike Daniels, former Bengal, he also likes to talk. But, the interior isn't a ton of smack. It's, you're breathing hard. There's not a lot of time for expending oxygen on an insult.
Yeah.
I guess Jeff Simmons, too. Jeff Simmons will talk, yeah.
Has anybody ever gotten under your skin ever with it?
Not during the game. I don't care about you at all.
Good. I like it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Another 10 points for Ted Karras. That's great. All right, so week 7 is your bye week. So time to rest.
Mm-hmm.
So NSYNC's song Bye 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 is a banger, as we all know. Which teammate, though, that you currently play with is most likely to join a boy band?
Boy band.
Yep.
I think these two young wide receivers right now, Andre and Charlie would be a pretty decent band.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know. They got the part played, the hair and the jumpsuits.
Are they going to do a rookie talent show?
They better.
You might have to like sneak some Bengals podcast co-hosts into that.
Yeah.
We can determine if they're going to be the next boy band.
We'll try to get a snippet out.
Yeah. Definitely give them a boy band challenge. You got to give them a song.
They look the part. I mean, they got the tracksuits on. I like their style. I called them out on it.
Yeah. All right, next up, Bridge.
Yes, it is me, and I'm not looking at what I want from DoorDash. All right. Okay, week 8 in the Bay, playing the 49ers.
Nice.
Frank Pollock played 8 seasons with the 49ers. So give us your favorite Frank Pollock story.
Man, I love Frank, and Frank is intense, and we can get intense at each other sometimes, but he is what a pleasure to work with every day. I'm trying to think of a great Frank story. It's not very G-rated, so I don't know. We're live here. We're live.
We had Pac-Man on here one time, so I mean it's open.
Oh, the Pac-Man's the man. He's good live. I think one of the funniest early moments was just Frank getting a 15-yard penalty in the preseason game against the Giants. I thought that was just pretty funny. It was a good indoctrination to see how Frank rolls on game day, which is very similar to me. Very intense, and it's a 4-hour, max effort. So I can't wait to get back to work with Frank. I know he's enjoying his time with his fam down in Arizona, so we'll see him soon. Yeah. I'm not going to out him too much, though.
What's he like as a coach? I mean, I feel like we all have the vibe, but truly, like, what's it like, being coached by him?
Well, he is a tactician of the game. He's he puts our runs together and puts our run plan, and he has great tips and tells and puts together great tests for us during the week. But he's a very intense man, very technically driven. But played this game for a long time, has the respect of the room and the team, and a guy that I have a lot of pleasure working with every single day.
Yeah, awesome. We're big fans.
Love Frank.
Big fans of him. Like anytime that we get just like the littlest clip in the off season, like usually during practice or whatever, of him like yelling.
No, it's funny. Yeah, no,
it's our favorite thing.
He gets creative too.
Yeah. That's the thing. He's taken like the profanity to an art level that I highly respect.
It's great.
Yeah. All right, Tyler.
All right, so week 9, we got the Bills on Sunday Night Football. And speaking of famous Bills, Bill Belichick is the complete opposite of Ted Lasso. So we want to get, in your opinion, which of your teammates or coaches are most like the following Ted Lasso characters and why? We'll start off with Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso, not Led Tasso.
Well, you could do both. Who is most like Ted Lasso and who is most like Led Tasso?
I would say Ted Lasso. I mean, does that have to be on the Bengals or just in all time of my coaches? I think all time, we've heard a lot about Jack Easterby in the news. But he was a good guy to me when he was up in New England. So he had a lot of Lasso-esque mannerisms and little, I guess, yeah. But on the Bengals, gosh, Ted's a hard character to fill because it's almost it's positive, but sometimes you look at Ted, you're like, what are you doing, man?
We're all imperfect.
Yeah, no, what a deep show. That show cuts to the core of a lot of insecurities.
We can all agree we've cried at least once watching Ted Lasso.
Oh my gosh, the father-son stuff it crushes me.
Forget
gosh, I'm trying to think. I guess Jeff Brickner. He brings a lot of good energy, and he's kind of the glue of the whole operation. So Ted Lasso, Jeff Brickner.
Got it.
Next up, we got Coach Beard.
Gosh, I mean, another could be good or bad.
A genius who's like a little bit on the quiet side, but when he says something, he drops like some genius.
And may end up at a rave in like
Yeah.
velvet pants.
Yeah.
The secret lives of coaches is interesting. Growing up, my father was a coach too, and not a lot of beards, but there's beards that come around, coach beards. I think Louis Chaffee probably would be a good choice for that. He provides a lot of amenities too behind the scenes, little extra perks. He makes a great cup of coffee in his office. I go and steal a cup every now and then. But Beard's a high dimension character there, but I'm gonna go with Louis.
Okay.
Right on. Next up, my personal favorite, Roy Kent.
He's here, he's
Angry
there. He's every effing where.
Yeah, that's Trey Hendrickson.
Yes!
Yeah, that's Trey Hendrickson. That's an easy one. That's Trey.
Why do I love that answer?
Yeah, because they have very similar. Yeah, he'll love you, but man, yeah.
I was trying to think of who's he going to go with here. Trey did not come to mind, but now that you say it, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Next up, Jamie Tart.
Jamie Tart. Well, I mean, since Joe's rocking his hair.
That's
That's a fair point.
Same season, same hair.
So probably Joe, or maybe like maybe like Tyler Boyd. Just like kind of people love him like that. Yeah.
Those are both good.
Yeah.
I like that. Last one.
We'll have to get the Joey B do 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 do.
So I didn't even realize that's from Baby Shark.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Jamie Tart. Okay, that took me to the end of the show to put that together after my buddy had his kids over and he was playing Baby Shark. I'm like, oh, they stole that from Ted Lasso.
I love that Baby Shark that has maybe the most YouTube views of all time. Teddy K's like, what? That's Ted Lasso.
That's Ted Lasso.
That from them.
That's Jamie Tart.
Ridiculous.
All right. We got our last one, which is Danny Rojas.
Wow. Jeez.
Football is life.
Football is life. Trying to think of someone who just loves the game like that. I don't know. There's not a lot of guys like Danny Rojas. I'll go to myself on that. I do think football is life. It has been my life, and hopefully continues for a few more here. But very thankful to still be playing. That show, guys, is amazing, by the way. And I really didn't know what to go expecting into watching that, and that's provided a lot of good moments over the last 3 years.
I think it's one of the top 5 series that's come out in the last 10, 20 years, easily.
Easily. I mean, they go there too. I wish they would have showed more soccer, I guess, but they really go there with, a lot of different issues. So I appreciated that about it.
Hey, from now on, when you hit the field, I'm going to start yelling and get everybody else to start yelling, football is life.
Football is life.
Yeah, that's happening. All right.
That's good.
Week 10, we visit the Texans, and they make everything big in Texas, including the food. So we are curious, what's your favorite NFL city to travel to based on the food alone?
Well, Houston's awesome. So I've been there. I've got to enjoy Houston for a Super Bowl, so that was pretty cool.
What a subtle flex.
It was better than Minneapolis, I'll tell you that. And we won at least, too. Atlanta was cool, too. Gosh, for the food, I really don't order out much. But, Mixon loves I ordered a steakhouse when we were in New England. We were staying in Providence, and there's this great steakhouse called 10 Prime. And he still talks about it to this day. He I think he flew out there one time to go get it. And I was just taken aback. 10 Prime, man. It's really good. So that would be my choice. We did order from there, but I don't eat much out. I don't go out in during the season. But the preseason, we went out to dinner in New York, which was pretty cool.
That's fair. All right. Well, nice shout out to that restaurant.
Yeah. I hope I got the name right. I think it's 10 Prime, but it's in Providence. It's cool. We went there a lot when I was in New England.
Yeah. Yeah, Jess and I agree. New Orleans, when we all went out there to support y'all in New Orleans and gained 10 pounds. Thank you.
I did take a lap in New Orleans. I wanted to see. I'd never seen it. I've only been there to play. Wild.
Right.
Well, you could have found us.
Right.
Yeah, no, it was
Go
a
to the
wild.
Felix
Yeah.
for the oysters.
Got to see a wedding walking down the street, which was pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah. That's awesome.
That was the most fun. That was my favorite fan experience of the season. We had the most fun in New Orleans.
what another close game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of always felt like we were going to win, at least from my seat.
I always feel like that with our team, so that's a good feeling to have.
Good point.
All right, so week 11, you guys go to Baltimore. It's Thursday night football. So last season with the Ravens, we had a little coin flip controversy that upset a lot of players, a lot of fans. I thought there needed to be a legal injunction, but it messed with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So Mixon, epically during that game, does the coin flip TD celebration dance that I think also broke the internet. So Ted, if you end up in the end zone scoring a touchdown this season, what is your end zone dance? Bonus points if you'll do it for us.
Well, it's not going to be a dance. I've actually never scored a point in football in my whole career. I've been playing since I was
research on that before.
8 years old. I've never scored a point, never kicked, never carried the ball. I've never registered an offensive stat. Now, when I do score, which I hope I do, I have this vision of like a ball kind of popping up like at the 2 and I catch it and get in. It's going to be a classic spike. I'm going to retrieve the ball and then I'm going to hug my teammates.
I like it.
I love it.
Simple.
So wholesome.
I wish you had a teammate there to reenact it with
give a
special
hug,
guest.
To give a hug. No, I try to get my teammates down here. Everyone does their own thing in the summer, which is good, though. They have enough of me. We got 8 months of me every day. They're going to be sick of me.
Yeah. All right. That's good. I like it. Tyler, what's up?
All right, so we're on to week 12 versus the Steelers. Obviously, for the longest time, the Steelers were the most hated AFC North team for Cincinnati fans. So rank your AFC rival teams in order you hate playing them most.
Gosh, I mean, I got to put Steelers at number 1. I played them a lot in my whole career. Have had a lot of big battles against the Steelers. Then you got to go Ravens after this past year. I'm sure that'll grow to like a 1A, 1B, and then Cleveland. I mean, it's really the margin here is so thin for the AFC North. What a big division to play in. I think one of the best divisions in football, especially O-line and D-line. I mean, it's a slugfest every week. So, we got to do better in the division. We split with every team. I think every team split with every team, only a division to do so. So we need to sweep a couple of these guys, this year.
The AFC in general is just so competitive. I feel like for the next few years, the AFC Championship is going to be a better game than the actual Super Bowl. The NFC needs to turn it up.
Philly's always going to be dangerous just with how good their lines are, both sides of the ball.
Yeah. I don't think there's much argument that the AFC North, though, is, who's better? Or as far as more competitive and just a harder hitting division.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I would love to see some of these AFC West teams knock the Chiefs off a little bit more than they do. Would be nice. Let's go, LA.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, poor LA. Lord.
LA gets what they deserve.
It's true. All right, next up. It's me. So where are we at? Okay, so
Week
the Jags.
13.
Jags week 13, Monday Night Football.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited about that. We're going to be there. The Jags play in England, though, twice this season, the place where The Office, the series, originated.
Yeah.
As we know, Jim Halpert on that show is famous for playing pranks on Dwight Schrute. So who would you say is the biggest prankster currently on the or the Bengals roster?
Pranks. There wasn't a lot of pranks this year. We do need to have a little bit more pranks, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone pulled a prank.
Mike Hilton?
Yeah, you had the mannequin.
The mannequin.
Oh, yeah, they didn't get me. Thank goodness. That walking through that, I would have been bad footage. I need. So I'll go with Mike on that. During COVID, though, my Patriots teammates got me pretty bad. They had a whole official fine, FedEx, NFL letterhead because I didn't wear a mask in the dining room. Like week 10, they told us we had to wear a mask to eat, and I was, I guess, making a stink, and they got me pretty bad. I was calling people, I was calling my agent, and they let me practice, thinking I got fined 40 G's, and
Nice.
they got me bad. It was bad. It was
who spearheaded that? Because whoever that is an evil genius.
David Andrews is our head trainer.
Nice.
Yeah. So they had the whole thing, the letterhead, it was like an overnight FedEx sealed. Yeah.
Jeez, they went all out.
They went all out and got me. And I was, I was calling people. Yeah, it was bad.
Well, they get plus 10 points for that.
Yeah.
You can get plus 10 points for not punching a wall. Unless you punched a wall.
No, I didn't punch a wall, but I was grumpy the whole day. I was not to be truffled with.
Nice.
All right.
Very
So
good.
week 14, you go home. You play the Colts. So you went to high school in Indianapolis, and we played them. Week 14. Their logo is a horseshoe, which some people believe is a symbol for good luck. Though if you watched Nashville's season release video, I think everyone on Broadway thought the Colts were the Cowboys. Name at least one good luck charm, superstition, or game day ritual you have.
I don't know if it's a good luck charm, but I do say a decade of the rosary every day before football. Try to pray a lot for safety and deliverance out of, it's a pretty dangerous game. I don't know if it's looking for good luck. I get my ticks and my superstitions, they start over each year. So that's why, the training staff was asking me if I wanted, because, last year we had this branded tape, it's finger tape, but it had a logo on it. And so we had started winning and they got they had the plain tape and they're like, you want the plain tape? I was like, no, I'm riding with the branded. But this year I've started over. We got the no brand, no logo. I try to do everything the same, but I will develop some ticks, some superstitions, some OCD type behavior that will manifest starting probably second week into camp. I don't know what it's going to be this year.
I do that with a player's jersey. I always pick one, and as soon as we win, I ride with that for the rest of the season. Ty, do you have any game day superstitions?
I'm just excited to hear that Ted K is just like us, because all my Bengals friends, Jess, what was it, Jess? You used to tell us in the chat, was it earrings this past season or whatever that, that were lucky until they weren't, and then they weren't allowed to be worn? Oh, I have a Money Mac necklace for good old Vic Beer.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice until it wasn't. And then I started getting texts throughout the game Whitney, take that necklace off. You have it on. It's great.
No, it's it. No, those things will happen. Gosh, I'm trying to think of my last year's ones. A lot of just how I tape myself, how I get put on my equipment.
Yeah.
I'd go through mine, but I mean, I'd need another 30, 60 minutes to get through that. So I will say though, during the Cowboys game last year, started off a little bit rough. Me and my wife just moved into our house last year, right before the season. So I'm I have no idea where the lucky spots are in this house. At one point I picked up our dog. We scored a touchdown. And it's well, I guess I got to do this the rest of the game. This is a 50-pound dog. So I'm carrying this thing.
Hold him.
She's got a couple. She might have some videos too, because I was singing the fight song at one point, dancing around with this dog in my arms. So, I'm a little bit crazy.
I made Cordell and Kappa switch sides around me in the team room this year because we didn't win. So we came back for our first meeting. I was like, we got to switch it up, guys. I don't know what to tell you. It's small. So now we sit Orlando, Cordell, me, Kappa.
I can't tell you how much I love hearing this. I feel so much better about all the bullshit we do throughout the
I feel a little bit more sane.
Yeah. Shut up, Matt. All right. Next up, Tyler. We got Vikings.
All right, week 15 versus the Vikings. Obviously, if you've watched any of the Cincinnati Reds this year, you know that the Viking helmet and cloak on teammates when they hit a home run has become a new staple of the Reds baseball team. Baseball players often get to pick a song to walk out to when they go up to bat. So the question is, if they did the same for football players, what would your walkout song be?
The opening riff to Good Times, Bad Times by Led Zeppelin.
Nice.
Heavy guitar, heavy drums
Hard.
with Robert Plant singing a little tune.
You came up with that so fast. You were convicted. It's 100% going to happen.
Just the opening, though. I don't, the song's all right, but that first, with the drums coming in and then he starts singing is cool.
All right. So Jess and Cap, I expect you guys to bring a wireless speaker to the game because you guys sit really close to the field where the players come out and play that for Ted sometime this season. Thank you in advance.
That'd be great. No, just the opening, No, we don't have to go all the way to the hook.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
I like Cap's comment here that he just dropped. Said we need a big play tiger robe.
Ooh, I like that. With Cincy on it, though.
Oh.
Can we just use Matt? Matt, put in the chat if we can just use your tiger robe. Just throw it down on the field.
Throw it on the field. The attendance at the games. I think every game towards the end, we just set a new record.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. We're fired up. And now the Reds and FC Cincinnati is just keeping us fired up.
Let's go, Reds.
Man. Year-round bliss, sports bliss for Cincinnati right now. We're all high on winning. All right, 16.
Yeah.
What?
Nice save.
Hi.
We're all high.
On winning. All right, we're at the Steelers in Week 16, and a fan favorite on defense is Mike Hilton, who we were lucky to steal from the Steelers. Our defense is loaded, as you know, with superstars led by the genius coach Anarumo, and it must be awesome as an O-line to go up against them in practice. What's the first thing, though, that comes to mind when we name these linemen? So DJ Reader, first thing that comes to mind.
His ability to bend.
Okay.
I've never seen anyone be able. You should see some of the positions he can get in while still maintaining, a forceful impetus against you, and then all of a sudden he can maintain his balance. I think him and BJ. They were. DJ was a college baseball player, but BJ also played baseball. They're very, very fully well-tuned athletes. I think that the way that their ankles and knees can bend under pressure and still be able to shed a block. Especially DJ. BJ's good too, but DJ's phenomenal with that.
Awesome. Sam Hubbard.
Cincinnati's own. The Cincinnati cyborg here. He's what an animal. I've watched him, since he came into the league. It was cool to now that we're friends. But yeah, I think just Cincinnati's own. What a play he made. One of the best plays I've ever seen. But yeah, the Cincinnati cyborg, man. Yeah, he can also bend pretty good. We had a lot of good players up front.
Awesome. You already mentioned him, but give something different for BJ Hill. First thing that comes to mind.
How strong he is, and how funny he is. We have a great relationship, good repartee. He's very smart and funny. Can get a little edgy too, which is fun. Yeah. And we have a lot of good conversations that stem from, one of us taking a chance, throwing something out there, and usually it turns into something thought-provoking, or we just get mad at each other.
What did you think of his bald head?
Yeah.
I was glad it came back. I was nervous for him. I was anytime you go full Bick, there's a risk. So
full Bick.
It came back for him. Nice full head of hair. Very happy for him. Yeah.
Last one, Trey Hendrickson.
Trey, like I said, is very Roy Kent-esque. Also, what a career path, what a rise. I think just production, when I think of him, I think that, he's poised to have a great year.
Yeah.
other than that, good friends of mine too. He didn't come to my Memorial Day party though, so I threw him the cold shoulder a little bit for the last 2 weeks of camp. But
I'm curious, really quick, with Trey Hendrickson, because I want to tell you my impression of him, and you tell me if I'm wrong.
okay,
You know how like the really terrible saying is like men are looking for like a lady in the streets, but a freak in the sheets. He reminds me of like a like the sweetest guy outside, like God fearing, like lovely
Yeah.
man, and then he gets on the field and he's a monster.
oh, this is true.
Like the worst of the worst monster.
Yeah, no, we've had some dialogue,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
All
it's
right.
very true.
Yeah. Okay. It does not surprise me. All right.
All right. Week 17, I think it's New Year's Eve. Bengals go to the Chiefs. Some of us
Yes.
will not be returning to Kansas City because we hate it there. Others, I hope, go support the team. So I'm adding a second piece. So Ted, you and Chiefs guard Joe Tooney are really tight. We want a little known fact about Tooney, but I also want you to give like your sportscaster's take on the Jamar Chase, Travis Kelce beef currently.
Oh gosh, it's ridiculous. I don't know what's going on with that. I think it's all fun. We'll go Tooney first. Joe Tooney, we were roommates for 4 years in New England. Obviously, I think one of the best guards around, not only this era, but all eras. He's, won 3 championships now, going against the best defensive player of that year. So I'm a big Joe Tooney fan. Little known fact, he's the only reader that's more avid than me and we have the same style. Like I said before the show, I read a lot of books on knights and kings, and sci-fi are my 2 biggest ones. And he has a lot of them as well. So we've shared books for years. We send each other books on our birthdays or just randomly if we find a good one. I believe he's off somewhere pretty fun in the south of France right now, living it up. That's my guy. And we need to go beat his ass here New Year's Eve. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, Joe's the man. Stood up been around for his family's great friends with my family, so love that man. As far as the Jamar Travis Kelce thing, I have nothing to say on that. It's fun banter. This is going to be a huge game. That's probably, hopefully we put ourselves in a position to where this determines the 1 seed. So we're going to need to be ready to go.
Yeah. I think all of us as fans, players, everybody affiliated with the Bengals just needs to accept and make peace with the fact that I think this is going to be the rivalry in the AFC for quite a while, for like the unforeseeable future. Like
fun.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
fun. So
We're
there's
just
going to be a lot of
gonna
chatter.
We're just going to ask AFTAB to stay out of it.
Yeah. That was a good redemption video, though.
It was.
Oh, I love that. That was perfect.
Oh, are we talking about the mayor?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was
Same Z's.
it was cringe. Too bad. But he saved face, so you got to give him credit a little bit. All right, Tyler.
All right, Tyler, bring us home.
So I'm going to add on one more question real quick because, Ted, you mentioned books. Me and my wife, big readers. We've read over a combined 200 books this year so far. I have not read a single one, so that's all her. Do you have any book recommendations for her? Because she's got to be running out of books here soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of my favorites is Ken Follett. Pillars of the Earth is unbelievable. Just read that whole series. But that's the book that got him famous. It's unbelievable. It's about 1400s, I think a little bit earlier, about 1200s England. They're building a cathedral, and it's about the surrounding town and what happens in their lives. It's amazing. And he writes a ton of good stuff. Anything Ken Follett's amazing. Right now I'm reading When Christ and His Saints Slept, about how the Angevin Empire, Henry II, came to power, also in the 1100s. So that's kind of what I've been reading lately. But if you want some sci-fi, I would go with the Foundation series by Isaac Asimov. Very, very easy to read. Pretty cool take on kind of future dystopian type places. And a little bit more fantasy would be Orson Scott Card. It starts with Seventh Son. It's about the Midwest. Actually, a lot of it takes place right on the Ohio River. A lot of folklore,
Really?
a lot of ancient folklore, different magic type stuff, but Midwest themed. Very cool.
Right on. I will be sure to pass those on to her. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
So to finish off the regular season here, we got the Browns. Sorry, old habits.
Typo.
So recently retired former Brown J.C. Treader was a stud at center, recording pass blocking grades above 80 for 6 consecutive seasons. If you could choose three current starting centers to spend a week with for a boot camp / workshop / vacation, who would they be?
Are we hanging out too? Or are we just?
Yeah, you're hanging out. You're learning from each other. This is who's going to up-level your game, but you're going to have a blast with. Top 3.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to go Ryan Jensen because he's a blast to hang out with, and he's got a great style of play. He's done it for a long time. Garrett Bradbury, Minnesota. So kind of different styles. He's more of a speed center. Jensen's more of a power, but Garrett can golf, and he has also a very good time. I'm actually going to see all these guys next week in DC. We're voting on our new executive director for the NFLPA, which is going to be cool. Third center. Can't pick anyone in a division. I'll go Creed Humphrey. I like Creed. He has a pretty unique game too, so I think he'd be a blast too. So those are my 3 centers. We might need to let's get a couple other positions in there though if we're going to start hanging out for real. We don't need all the O-line's great, but we need to get a couple tight ends in there, or maybe a Q.
I was thinking when we were talking about questions or whatever, and I was thinking about that one. I remember who was it last year that had like the tight ends together, had like a tight end boot camp. Who was that?
That's George Kittle, does tight end U.
Kittle.
Yeah, no, he does a great job with that. And there's like an O-line one. There's an O-line seminar. It's just not I don't expend any energy not to my team. That's not me. I'm not going to go. Well, at the union stuff I do.
Yeah.
But.
Gotcha. Yeah,
late June.
If anybody put anything like that on.
No, they do. I think Jensen puts it on OL. I think it's OL Performance. I think Charles Bentley's involved. It's like a whole workshop thing, but that's never been for me.
Got it. Cool. All right. Well,
that's the season.
That's the season. There you go. I have not ever seen Sharknado. I know it was a fan question popped up. I haven't seen it, so I don't even know what that is.
You don't know about Sharknado?
I've never heard of Sharknado.
Well, you didn't know about Baby Shark, so I guess this should not be surprising.
I've always hated Shark Week because Shark Week coincides with training camp. So every time I see a Shark Week ad, I'm like, wow, season's coming.
We need to know if you're a Game of Thrones fan, though.
Oh yes, books as well. Books and show.
Okay,
yeah.
Darnell. I work with Darnell, and Darnell puts up with all of my innate. I'm the worst at technology in life, and I hope Darnell, you are still listening. I own it. Darnell has to fix my life all the time, and he is so patient with me. So thank you for spending more time with me, Darnell, than you already did today.
Jess wants to know: do you players notice when people in the stands are wearing your jersey number?
I noticed the hats more than the jersey. I noticed a lot of Cincy hats, but more 64 jerseys than ever. Very grateful. I get $450 a jersey for my right steal, my licensing. So thanks, guys.
When they write you a check, mine was supposed to come for tonight, and it did not. So,
but yeah, some more 64 than ever. Mostly it's just my family though, and that been most of my career. In New England, I wore 75, and there was a lot of Vince Wilfork 75, which I thought was cool. Because when they do inevitably retire his number, I am going to take half credit since I've won just as many Super Bowls in that number as him. So when they put up the little plaque, I just want a little Ted Karras on the bottom there. I had to use this towel. I get there and they give me this old towel that says 75 on it, and I was like beside myself. It was one of the oldest towels I've ever seen, and it said 75. I was like, this was Vince's towel. Thanks, guys.
Oh God.
I had a couple questions, but I'm not going to expand on that. We're going to push right through it.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have one question here. So last year, we bring you into Cincinnati. Really, the only returning piece to that starting offensive line was Jonah Williams. And for me, I played junior high football. That's about as far as I got. That was wide receiver. So there's some things I don't understand about football. But as far as offensive line play goes, how difficult is that when, we had, well, I guess for you, it'd be four new people you're playing alongside with. Like, what is that like trying to get that chemistry down? How important is that for the offensive line to gel, versus, other players out in the field trying to get together as far as chemistry?
It's at a premium more so than any other position, since we are half the offense that has to, work more closely together than anyone. So O-line more than any other position is a continuity and a repetition position. So this year we have an advantage. Most of us are coming back. We added Orlando Brown, a dynamic talent, and he was an easy onboard to our offense. He's got a great football mind. He's got great energy, and we're going to have to play to that advantage, especially early in the season. We need to, make this continuity on paper translate into production in the run and pass game, especially, our unit. We have a lot of, we have to take a lot of onus ourselves here and start faster. And I think we have, we have the guys to do it. We have continuity, and we have to play to that.
I'll tell you one thing. Obviously, we started a little slow last year. There's a lot of new pieces, a couple different variables that were in there, and started slow, but we got things rolling. We had that 10-game winning streak in there. And I tell you what, my favorite game last year was the Kansas City game at home, outside of just being the Chiefs. But watching you guys give Joe all the time in the world, like me, I go to games with my dad, my brother, and my wife. And I remember like mid-second quarter, we was looking at each other like, Joe has all the time in the world back there. So I know we're super excited to see you guys, obviously coming in with all the chemistry that you have built on from last year, to see you guys start that way from week one and hopefully carry it throughout the entire season. So
we're excited too. We need to, and we need to. There's a lot of football to be played, and I know everyone's working hard to come back to camp, be ready to go. Start running right away, because we can't start 0-2 again. That was ridiculous.
Yeah. How before we let you go, and we will wrap up here in a second. You've been really generous with your time tonight, and like also, leaned into crazy questions. But overall, like, how is the team seem to feel about going into this season? I know they're probably excited and they feel pretty confident, but like, what really is being said among the team going into this season, and how do you feel personally going into this season?
I feel the team's very serious, and we have a specific goal that we're going to achieve, and there's a lot of ball to be played, but we need to have that. I think we do need to table some of the Super Bowl talk a little bit and just focus on let's win the day. I know that's kind of a cliche, but then let's win our first game and start putting good days together. But there is no mistaking that is our goal. I don't know if I want to, speak to that too much, but that's what we're here to do. I know, Joe's going to win a few in his career, and I want to be the first to do it with him. So I think that's how a lot of guys feel, especially some of the older ones.
Yeah. Well, we'll just hope you manifest it. I mean, I think the belief level among the fan base, I can only speak for the fan base, not the team, but the level of belief, taking it back to Ted Lasso, is so high. And it's not just high this year. It's been this is the third year we're kind of riding this wave, and I think we all don't take it for granted, and we still very much think every game is precious, and I don't think any of us get too far ahead of ourselves. But when we do get a little boisterous, as you see us on Twitter and talking kind of some smack, it's because you guys have helped us earn that, and we do believe in you guys and what you guys have the ability to do this season for sure. So
well, thank you. I want to get it done for you guys. We all do, and we all feel that. And it was good. Everyone gets a little break now, but we're gonna come back ready to go. I hope to see you guys all at camp too. Those are fun practices.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hope to make one this year at least.
I'm gonna be in Greece for all of them.
Oh, Okay, well, we don't feel too bad for you.
I love camp. I will go bake
you
for
love
5
camp
hours.
over Santorini?
Well, I've never been to Santorini, but I'll let you guys know how it is.
That's awesome. I'm jealous. I tried to go right before COVID. That's where my family's from a little island called Naxos. But that's a few generations down the ride. I'm pretty diluted Greek now, but still Greek.
Ted, the deluded Greek. Right? It's been great. You're an absolute madman, a legend. We all love you. I can speak for everybody in the Bengals fan base for sure. We appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Plug Cincy Hat again one more time.
Wait, guys, thank you guys for the support, all the gear, polo shirts, a bunch of new hats. We got Reds hats coming out for sale. I know we said we were only going to sell those in person, but those are coming back on the site, thecincyhat.com. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, too. 100% of the proceeds go to adults with Down syndrome and autism, enabling them to live an independent lifestyle. So I thank you guys so much. This was a blast, by the way. This was a lot of fun. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, can't wait. Text me when you get the Cincy headband made. Thanks.
Okay, yes, the Whitney. The
Whitney.
The Whit.
Yes. All right, guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hooday.